Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Demonplague. I am your Dungeon Master, James Intricasso. I go by he, him. And today we are embarking on an exciting D&D adventure of bureaucracy. So if you are still with us after that introduction, let us meet our players who are present. Rudy, let's start with you. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Rudy Basso. I'm playing Rain Bowie, a human monk. I also go by he, him. I am level 12. We're all level 12 now, so that's exciting. I took ability score increase for my wisdom, which means that my monk DC went up 1, which means more people will be stunning striked in the future. Because that's turned out to be pretty good. Last session helped against that flying thing that we fought. So, watch out, flying things. Brock. No.
I like it when the party threatens each other. That's always a good thing. How about you, Robert? Who are you and where can and who are you playing?
I'm Robert Adichie. I go by he, him. I'm playing Torsten Alehand, who also goes by he, him. A wizard cleric, wizard level 8 now. Cleric level 4. I took an extra since I knew this was going to be some bureaucracy happening. I took an extra charisma point and intelligence, and some new spells. The first of which is how to make a bill of law, and and banish liar. Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't take a point in Bard and so you can go, I'm just a bill?
Yes. No, I took banishment and I took dispel magic.
Oh, nice. Great spells.
Yeah.
Really, and good spells if you may or may not be fighting demons at some point.
Yes.
We'll see in this Demonplague campaign.
Lauren.
Lauren, who are you and who are you playing?
I am Lauren Urban. You might know me as Obo Crazy. I am playing Rock the Aarakocra Rogue. We both go by she, her, and I just took a wisdom increase because if there's anything Rock likes, it's being able to see through space and time. So, so my wisdom is now a 20, which does mean for those of you keeping score, because I am, and it's important to me. Currently, my passive perception is 28, my passive investigation is 24, and my insight is 23. And because of reliable talent, I pretty much can't suck at it.
Right. Yeah.
So,
you those are the lowest numbers you can get are your passives because of reliable talent, which is
pretty much. So I am here to make all of those auto failures. That's what all those auto failures are going to be for, so that Rock doesn't see basically the book. Rock now has the Demonplague book and is flipping through it.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. It is probably inspiring some sort of existential crisis in Rock at the moment, realizing that all of this has been written by some dude.
I think she had a moment, and then she was like, okay, that's weird, but whatever. All right. I think she just went along with it. She's fine.
Well, if you are watching us in the Don't Split the Podcast Network Twitch chat, you can send some bits the ways of these players, and they will get automatic successes. They will maybe get health potions, and you could get an NPC named after you. So be aware that there is some really cool stuff that can happen. Those prices, I think, are not on our 3-player screen.
Yeah.
So just so people know, it's 100 for a health potion for a character of your choice. It is 300 for a success or a failure for me, for the player of your choice, and it is 500 one time to get an NPC named after you. So with that in mind,
we just got a 300-bit autofill donation.
We
from Josh
did
Long.
just get a 300-bit autofill
Thanks,
donation.
Josh.
Rudy, who's it from?
It's from Josh Long.
See? Rock knew it was coming. She could see it coming.
Yes, thank you, Josh Long, for this. I believe this makes 5 that I've got in the bank now.
Wow.
My 3 players here. So that's great. So yes, I will be using some of those perhaps today. We will see. And then I also want people to know that what we're about to embark on is a level 1 through 20 adventure that is available now. I wrote it with a gentleman named John 4, and you can find it at roleplayingtips.com/demonplague.
How do you
Roleplayingtips.com/demon.
how do you spell 4?
So you spell 4 FOR, but you spell John JOHN.
Okay, that's it. 2 N's. What a world.
Yes. He's John with 2 N's. He's Canadian, so yeah.
Hey, it's not like he's got an extra U in there. Come on.
And is an incrediable designer. So if you're interested at all in checking it out, there's previews over on that page, and it is a good time. It's available in all the flavors, hardcover, softcover, and PDF. So with all of that out of the way, last time on the Demonplague, we had an excellent guest named Samwise Gamgee who was playing Daisy Gardner. And Daisy Gardner helped you find the last of the components you needed in the House of Chaos to cast a ritual that will kill Zancrown, the plague demon who is plaguing the Luna Valley, no pun intended, with his sickness and turning people into these undead monstrosities that are killing people, much like Baobab, R.I.P. So you found those components. You came back to Tomar's Crossing, home of many people you love, including the new home of Bruce Killshatter, a revenant from Rock's past, the ringmaster of her old circus and circus dad, I guess, is sort of his unofficial title. Circus dad Bruce Killshatter, who learned in the afterlife that the comet that had brought devastation to the Luna Valley and awakened Zancrown had not come by accident. He had been working on sorting out his memories with the druid ghost Ferii the Wise. And you have all made it back to Tomar's Crossing. You have had a good night's sleep after a fun feast where you were hailed as heroes. And it seems like things in town are actually not that terrible right now. People are starting to get some hope as they, begin to trade with the people of Fort Kickass. A little trade route has sprung up, and people are going back and forth, and you've got an economy kickstarted. They've got a new town council who is getting ready to start that the people are really excited about. That new town council, of course, includes Torsten Alehand, as well as Summith Skullcleaver, Kadra Tourmaline, and Katika LeBlorn, who is a noble from the city of Safe Harbor. You all are about to have a meeting to determine which one of you on the council should be the village counselor. The village counselor breaks ties. Their vote is worth more, and they sort of set the agenda for the town and that sort of thing. They lead the meetings of the village council. So that is something to keep in mind here as we go forward, because that meeting is about to happen. But before we get to that, is there anything in particular the three of you want to do now that we're back in town?
I want to go visit Bajelin in town jail.
Okay. You are definitely...
Do you want to visit, or do you want to, mock?
I mean, they're not mutually exclusive, so...
Yes. Yeah, so you, Rain, head on over, and as soon as you come, that is when you see Rosalie, who is there, who has sort of taken charge now of this fort that has been turned into a prison. When you approach and Rosalie opens the door for you, you can hear some sort of horrid gnashing and screaming that now is the sound of Velox. Some people who you have tied up did indeed convert into Velox at this point, and they are chained and secured, as it were. And Rosalie gives you a status report about that there are some people who have not turned into Velox and haven't shown any sign of sickness. And she wants to know, is it possible to maybe release them? You had thought it would take about 10 or so days for symptoms to show up. It's been, let's say, 12 days at this point.
I mean, do they still have weirdly increased strength?
So there is one individual who does. The others, they don't know if they're like super strong or if it was just sort of a, placebo kind of effect because other people were feeling it.
Let's arm wrestle. I want to arm wrestle everybody who isn't.
Okay.
I just want to touch their strength in some way, test it in some way.
Sure, yeah. So you're able to go around, and it does seem like one person is maybe just taking a long time to succumb to the demon plague. But there's another 2 people who it looks like they're fine and they don't seem particularly strong.
Do they have their wits about them?
They do seem to have their wits about them.
I asked them complicated math questions.
Okay. They let's see.
Roll for calculus.
How complicated?
As complicated as someone who lived in the woods by himself for 9 years could make.
Okay, so. Yeah. With after some time, they are able to get answers for you that are. Yeah.
I decree that you are not demon plagued, and I open the door.
Okay. They are free to go. They thank you for that, and they make their way.
For your patience.
Out. And then Rosalie says to you, but Jalen's cell is right this way. And you can see it's a sturdy wood door. He is not chained up. All of the people who have the demon plague or turned into Velox are like super chained, basically in chain straight jackets that are chained to the wall and everything. You can see he's in manacles, but he is not particularly, restrained in any other way or that sort of thing. But he does have a wood door that has at about, human head height. It's got a couple of bars with a window cut out of it. So you can see into his room and you can talk to him through this little space.
Does he look frazzled and unkempt?
He does indeed. It looks like he has not been sleeping well. There's probably near constant screaming going on here in the cells, and he is covered in dirt and that sort of thing. It looks like he's, Rosalie doesn't run, a corrupt prison practice or anything like that. There's no unnecessary harm coming to him, but he is not taking good care of himself.
All right.
And he is definitely sleep deprived, which seems to be just sort of a consequence of being in a place so close to the Valak.
All right. I don't want to mock him or whatever. That seems cruel. So I just wanted to check in and make sure. I just kind of look at him and walk away.
Okay. Yeah. When you
is Kalinis here too? Sorry, something else.
Kalinis is here as well.
All right.
Yes. When you look in, but Jalen looks up and his eyes meet yours, and he says, "Come to gloat."
No. Goodbye.
All right, and you walk away. And he says, "Wait." Do you keep walking?
I'll stop, but I won't turn around.
Okay. You hear some shuffling as if he is moving close to that little window. And he says, "I am not safe here. I need you to get me out.
Okay.
Move me."
Walking. Goodbye.
So yeah, you keep walking, and you are able to make it to Kalinis' cell. And you see Kalinis, same thing, looks pretty sleep deprived. He's never been very kempt and put together to begin with, so it's hard to tell if he's taking less care of himself than he already wasn't. And you can see his hair is like wild and it's gray and sticking out in a bunch of different directions, and he's just staring at his feet when you check in on him.
Did he admit to killing the other council member, the woman?
Yes, once imprisoned. Okay. Yeah, he did.
All right. I just wanted to check in on him. All right. I leave the prison. This seems good.
Okay. He says,
I want to see his dog. I want to make sure his dog is okay.
Yeah. So when you come out, his dog is actually at Rosalie's side. It's like sitting at attention at her feet, and she is petting him.
I pet him too.
Oh yeah, he loves it. Loves
Nice.
getting that pets.
He doesn't seem too sad.
He doesn't. He seems actually very happy with.
Oh, good.
Seems like Rosalie has been taking care of him, and he seems very happy with the care he's receiving.
You're doing a great job, Rosalie. Here's 10 gold, which is a modest but fair amount for a bonus. I don't know. What's not insulting?
I mean, in general, prison guards don't get tipped.
I have no concept for money. I was a hermit for 9 years.
She is dealing with some extra special
Absolutely,
issues with
yeah.
Demonplague. So I think in this case, it might not be out of the ordinary.
I just don't
like,
want to give her 9 years worth of wage. I don't know.
No, it would not be like 9 years worth of wage. She probably makes about 2 gold a day.
Okay. So I'll give her 14 gold. 1 extra weeks. What a bonus. That's a pretty good bonus, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So, yes, she, gives you big thanks, throws a hug around you, for the extra gold, and then the Mastiff jumps up on you in like a happy way and starts to lick your face.
What a day. This is a great day. Best day ever. Saw Magellan in jail, let some people out because they don't have the demon plague, got a hug from a dog. I go home with a whistle on my lips.
Excellent. Yes, walking through this mud-streaked, semi-apocalypsed town.
We're getting our 10% for every trade made between Fort Kickass and Tomar's Crossing, right? That's a thing, right? We get 10%.
I don't know. Well, you'll need to check in with the new village council about that.
Cool.
So what does Rock want to do?
Rock has been pretty much like mainlining, we're going to save the world. What do I have to do next to save the world? So I think she would have come back recovered and then immediately gone to like talk to Bruce, talk to Fairy Eye, talk to the ghosts, because they've got all the stuff now. So what do we do now? Is there anything left? I'll donate my letter opener if we still need a magic item. What's going on?
So when you come in, you see that you come into the Kick and Punchatorium, which is where Fairy Eye and Bruce have been staying, even though they were never officially invited to by Rain. And they are there while, class is not in session at the moment. And when you come in, Bruce is asleep, which is not a thing he has done since he's come back from the dead, which is not a thing undead typically do. And you see he is there, and Fairy Eye sort of has her hands on either side of his head. They're close, but she's not actually touching him. And she is chanting softly. And she says to you, "Oh, Rock, I'm glad you're here. He is remembering. I think if you come back tonight, we'll be ready to end this. We'll be ready to make this happen."
The thing... She will whisper softly, thinking Bruce is sleeping, but I won't for audio listeners. So like the whole do the, and this be like do the thing, right? To kill Zencrown.
She nods.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'll come back later, and Rock will just leave.
Okay, great.
I mean, unless I get a weird ping off of her, unless I don't.
Fairy Eye just calls after you. Don't forget to bring the others as you go.
Oh no, it's going to be a party.
So yeah, you have that information in hand. Is there anything else you want to do, Rock?
I don't know if there's really anything else. Like, she's been so focused on this that I think she'll just go and make sure all the list of stuff that that isn't the obvious things that she can't get a hold of, like the pseudo dragon, because that's with Torsten. But like she's just super, I want to save world, this is what has to happen, let's go save world, what happens next? Okay. So like, it's not like she's going to take off for Fort Kickass or anything, so she's just going to hang out. She might go grab something to eat. Otherwise she's going to be doing a little bit of obsessive preparations.
Okay, cool. So you're checking your stuff and, getting rations together and that sort of thing. Oh, and also people have gone out to the House of Chaos to collect the food that you told them about as
Oh
Oh,
well.
excellent.
yeah. Okay.
And there is a knock, I guess. Rock, are you still staying with Isabel at this point?
I think Sumith was hanging out with her, and so Rock would not be. So she'd probably, if she's not at the Punch and Kickatorium, she's probably at the tent, because I think the tent is still up.
Yes,
It's
the
just
tent is definitely.
mostly empty because most of those people left to go to Fort Kickass. So she'll go back to the tent, I guess. 'Cause, yeah, I don't know if she's really got anywhere else to. This is gonna sound sad. She doesn't really have anywhere else to go.
That's fine. That's totally
So,
fine.
so yeah,
And
she'd
you're
probably be like laid out on a mat in the tent, like recounting mushrooms, and here's the potion, and here's the claw of the white dragon, like making sure it's all just there.
nice. And while you're doing that, you hear the tent flap open. And in fact, Rock probably heard footsteps coming this way long before it opened. And Huberg Greyborn, who is the leader of the refugees from Ice Song, is there. And he's like casually across his shoulder has an axe, like a battle axe, that he's just sort of carrying that way. And he strides in with a friendly hello to you, Rock.
Hi,
And
Hubert. Can I help you?
yes, I actually I was hoping I could help you. I really appreciate everything that you all have done for me. I know I didn't win a seat on the village council, but I greatly appreciate you campaigning for me, and I also greatly appreciate what you've done in reclaiming Fort Kickass and rebranding it as a place where refugees can go. It means the world to me and my people, and all the defending you've done. I just wanted to do something to help out. And I I had heard through the grapevine, through Summit actually, that you were looking for a magic weapon. And he takes the axe off of his shoulder and he presents it to you in both his hands. And you can see it's a very nicely made axe that has a silvered head that is carved with a bunch of dwarven runes. And he says, "This is an axe that was given to me by my grandfather, and I would give it to my grandson, but I think saving the world is probably more important." And so he hands you the axe, Rock.
She'll take it and probably, because it's probably way too heavy for her.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. In fact, you're surprised that it's not as heavy as you would think it would be. It feels very light, almost as light as the letter opener that you
oh,
used. Yeah. Um,
wow, this is gorgeous. Are you sure you want to do this? I was going to just I have a magic weapon, and this is like something like you said to give to your son and everything, but I
well,
this is amazing.
I'm old, Rock. I don't have much need for a weapon, and I'm hoping that if I give this to you, my grandchildren won't either. And I think you may have need for that letter opener still. So I I just think this is probably the best way I can help out right now. And if you don't need it, I'll certainly take it back. But I do think it will probably serve better in your hands than it would in mine.
His grandfather gave it to him, and he was going to give it to his grandson. Does it skip a generation or something?
Yes, battle genes skip a generation.
Okay,
There you go,
gotcha,
there you go.
gotcha.
It's
I
a
feel bad for
common-
your son.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
bummer.
like baldness and other genetics that skip a generation.
Gotcha.
Do I get the sense that it's important to him that he contribute in this way? Like, do I get the sense that if I say no, that he'll be like that it's more important that he help than Like, is this really super important? Is he going to be, is it going to be like a big deal if I say no to this? Like, is this going to make him feel really good if he can contribute in this way?
You think it will make him feel really good if he does. You don't think it's going to like crush him if you say no. So
Okay.
there's, you can only have a positive outcome here, not a negative one. So
Okay.
even if you say no, he'll probably be a little disappointed, but it's not like going to ruin your relationship or he's going to go cry, or still gets his sweet axe. And you actually, Rock, the other thing I would say about this is like a really nice axe. And you get the feeling that like, maybe if Isabel wants to donate her longsword, she might be able to use this axe instead for the cause, because maybe it's better than her longsword. It would be totally up to Isabel if that's what she.
It's a one-handed axe or two-handed axe?
It is a one-handed battle axe.
Yeah. I would like her to get rid of her creepy sword that laughs in her head all the time.
Oh, in fairness, none of us hear it laughing, so we don't know. Oh, I think she's the only one who hears. Okay, so I'll take it and I'll look at him and I'll say, Hubert, this is amazing, and this is going to help a lot. And I think either this is going to help make the spell go off really, really well, or I think maybe Isabel might be able to use this, and then she can donate her sword, and everything will be really cool. So this is the best thing ever of all time. Thank you.
When you mention the possibility that Isabel might use it, his eyes get really wide, like that would be an honor, for him to see the weapon in the hands of a great hero like Isabel. And so he nods and he says, well, thank you, Rock. I'm glad I could help out. And if there's anything I can do in the future, anything at all, I am here to help. And he will take his leave. So, and Rock and Rain, you both have inspiration as we turn to Torsten.
Can I do one more thing real quick? As soon as he's gone and I hear that he's like gone, Rock is going to take this big two-handed axe, which is way too big for her, and just give it a couple of experimental fun swings. Like a kid with a lightsaber, just be like, ah! And it's gonna suck, and I'm not even gonna roll for her or anything. She's just gonna suck at it, and it's probably gonna land in the dirt, and she's gonna be like, oh, that's so cool, and then she'll put it away.
As you swing it, Rock, ice crystals come off of the axe and like form in the air momentarily and then fall to the ground, almost like you're making little sleet and snowflakes fall from the head of the axe as you swing it back and forth.
Oh, this is the best thing ever of all time. And she'll grab one of the icicles, she'll put the axe down, and then she'll continue her organizing while munching on an icicle.
I was going to say, you got a snow cone maker right there.
I know, right?
Some dessert.
This is amazing. I've been so hot. She'll save that for Isabel.
So yes, you are able to put the axe off to the side, and you're counting. And we go now to Torsten. So Torsten, is there anything you want to do before this meeting starts?
Yeah, so Torsten is consulting his star charts and seeing what his divination portents are going to be for the day. And they're going to be very average 2 13s, unfortunately.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So
that's okay. That's not bad.
Good, yeah.
13, I mean,
that's above average. So,
but they're both. I like them to be spread apart, so like highs and lows. So that's the best.
True.
Yeah.
And of extremes.
Yes, extremes are good. So he's consulting that kind of stuff and contemplating a couple of things. One, talking about the weapon. Do we know what are the specifics about this weapon that we need for the ritual or magic item, magic weapon, whatever it was?
It just needs to be any magic weapon. It gets consumed by the ritual. So
it has to be like an actual like a melee weapon or whatever, or ranged. So my question is basically like, we have the circuit of blasting, which is not technically a weapon, but also is a weapon. So I didn't know if that would count.
Oh, got you. Would that sort of fulfill? I will say yes, that it would, because it is a magic item that does harm.
Mm-hmm.
It is not by D&D definition, but by the definition of the word weapon. It is a weapon.
Right.
And
could
my light thing that can blind people, does that count too?
I would say no. That's like a tool. That'd be like trying to use a flashlight as a weapon almost.
Good. I'm not sharing it. So
So, I would definitely offer that up when time comes, just because it's, it's not as powerful as some of the other things we have. So, I think
Does
that
it matter? Do we know, like, is something is more powerful better for the ritual?
So as far as you can ask Fairy Eye about that, and she will tell you that it does not really matter as long as there is something for the ritual to consume. That it is basically the ritual takes a lot of its power from consuming this magic weapon, and so it's as long as it is a permanent magic weapon, it will work.
Cool. And then, Torsten is very interested in the things they gather. And so we have 13 pearls. Do we know how much those are worth? And the mithril tooth.
Oh, I see. 13 pearls. Yes. Mm-hmm. So the pearls are worth 10 gold pieces each.
All right.
And you can get 50 gold for the mithril tooth.
All right, cool. All right. And so that's about all I wanted to do before I go to the. Oh, actually, no, I take it back. I want to go see Palmine and see how her investigations are going.
Oh, sure. Yes. So you are able to, when you come to see Palmine, she opens the door and she says, "Oh, come in, come in. Yes, yes." And she leads you through the door of her house into her sitting room. And in her sitting room, you see there's like an image that is hovering in midair, and she is chatting with Ralakai Gravemore.
What?
In the image. So you can see he is there, and he's like working at his lab, and he looks up and says, "Torsten, hello," and like goes back to work, and you can see is dissecting a Velok as he is doing this. And she says, "We were just talking about some of the Demonplague things. You see, I found in this journal a way to speak with Ralakai." And she shows you, sure enough, there's a ritual in there that had been recorded by the gnome who owned this book. That was, a way to sort of directly get in touch with Ralakai. And that she's been looking at the books and talking with him and consulting in the meantime. And she feels confident that they might be able to actually develop a cure. But the weird thing is that they need tissue from Velok to do it. That they need Velok bodies that are essentially then compressed down for their fluidy bits. Ew. And there is a concoction made out of that. And she says, I admit I am a little hesitant to see if it works because, well, I'm worried it might give someone the Demonplague or progress the effects. So it's pretty gross to drink a Velok, it worries me. But the magic makes sense theoretically.
Would it completely reverse it from someone that's already a Velok?
That would be harder to do. It's something we're still talking about. We do have some Velok test subjects. Administering the cure to them would be difficult enough in and of itself, and I don't think what we're working on now would be powerful enough. But it is something we've been discussing, and we're trying to figure it out.
All right. Well, it sounds like things are going well. So
yes. I will say, there is one thing that you could do for me, which is, should you in your travels come across the ichor of a devil, not a demon, a devil. You know the difference, yes, Torsten, between demons and devils? Yes. Well, they hate each other because one is aligned for law and the other is aligned for chaos, as you know. And I think the lawful properties of the ichor of a devil may be just the thing we need to reverse the demon plague's effects. Unfortunately, there aren't that many devils just hanging out, and we need them here on the material plane because then when they die, they melt into these puddles of ichor. You all know all of this, of course, already. This is just for the benefit of the audience.
Of course. Well, yeah, we've seen several demons. I don't think we've run into any devils as of yet, so we'll see.
Well, if you do, let them try to kill one for me and get the ichor.
And as Sayer Lowell says, we don't want to start the devil plague.
That's right. That's the sequel. I needed more material starting to run out.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. So I will, from there, I will thank Pamin and look warily on at Ralakai and kind of go to the meeting, I suppose.
Okay, great.
I don't
So
like
the
them
meeting-
being friends.
Yeah, me either.
It's good that they got that witch connection all the way out to where Ralakai is. I mean, the internet at Tomar's Crossing must be super bad. So it's like 3 frames per second, but they can talk.
Right.
Yeah, on your way out the door, Robert, you hear Ralakai say, "So, are you a werewolf? I'm really confused."
Aha!
Nice.
And you go to the meeting. This is a closed door meeting that Summith actually has you over to his place for. So you all are able to gather there. And
Does he make dinner?
yeah, he does. He makes a lovely meal for you. It is not super filling. He's trying to, he
Is it
wants to look
tapas?
good as a council member, and he also wants to be a good human. So he's trying to ration himself so that there's enough food for everybody there.
No tapas.
No tapas. But he does break out a very nice bottle of actually ale hand ale.
Oh.
That he is something that he had been sitting on. It's like a batch, a smaller batch that your family had made a few years back. And he said, I just thought this was the right occasion for this. And he pours out everybody one, and he says, that's when Kadra stands up and she says, well, as the incumbent on the council, I thought it was worth it to talk about village master and who we think should be village master. And Katika starts to pipe up and she says, I know, Katika, you have said many times that you believe you should be the village master, but I wanted to give an open forum to see if anybody else is interested in throwing their hat in the ring.
I kind of watch, Torsten, did this because he thought it's sort of the best for the town, and people asked me to. Again, he never sort of really wanted to. He'd rather be studying and doing other things, but he's willing to help out the town. So I will watch kind of Summith and Kadra and kind of see if they're going to say anything, and if it doesn't look like it, then Torsten will speak up.
Okay. So, this is interesting. Let's see. Gonna roll some dice here. Okay, so
He rolls dice and then he gives all these NPCs disadvantage because of the or auto fails. He gives all the NPCs auto fails.
Yeah.
So there's a pause while you're looking at them, and you see they both look to you. And there's this little bit of like an almost telepathic conversation where the three of you are like, someone needs to do this. Right? Someone, we can't let this be Katika. Someone needs to step forward. And so they look to you, Torsten. It's almost like you have a chance here to either step up or give a nod to one of them to be the ones to step up.
That's I didn't even think about that.
If Rock were here, she would know that's exactly what's going.
In fact, somewhere in the town, as she is putting all of the stuff into the bag and getting ready to get together with everybody, she just cocks her head and goes, geez, why don't they just like stand up for themselves? I don't understand.
So with that in mind, Summit has obviously helped us a lot. He's like the blacksmith, right? The armor smith.
Yes.
So yeah, and then Kadra has been very helpful, although she kind of bent the wrong way, for a long time. So what do I feel like Torsten really hasn't dealt with Summit a lot aside from recently. What was my relationship with him like before all of this happened?
So he was always friendly. He's like a friendly carpenter who was formerly worked in the guard in Safe Harbor. And then moved almost to like retire, except that he runs this carpentry business part-time while he is there in Tomar's Crossing, and has always been friendly, has always been helpful, has always been very generous to the people of Tomar's Crossing.
And
Isabel likes him a lot.
Right.
And Isabel likes him a lot.
So based on his actions before and sort of his history, I would imagine that Torsten thinks that he is, has the best for the city or the town at heart. So I will say, I nominate Summit as village master.
And as soon as you say that, you see like almost like a wave of relief goes over Kadra, like she did not want that mantle, but was going to take it to keep it away from Kataka. And then she immediately says after there is...
Oh, you cut it. Oh, no.
Cutting out.
James. Got a break. No.
She immediately says, "This is perfect. This is everything we ever wanted."
So much suspense.
Ooh, yeah. I was going to say, you should move to add a 5th member and just get rid of the town council elder entirely, because it seems absurd that you do that.
That is a thought. Yeah.
So, you're back, James. You cut out there as soon as you started talking about Kadra being relieved.
Oh, yes. So she seems very relieved and then immediately says, "I second," after you. So, yes. So she immediately seconds for you. And, Kataka says, "Well, do you accept this nomination?" And Summit says, "Yes, I do." And he says, well, and Kataka looks disdainfully at all of you. Says, "Well, I guess that settles it then. Your new village master is Summit Skullcleaver, as it were."
Jeez, what an aggressive
As it
name.
were, as it is, and as it ever will be.
It sounds scary, his name. So, all right, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Village Master Skullcleaver.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I love it.
It's a name given from his orc father's side. So yeah, handed down. It's definitely an orc name. So yes, so Summit then leads the meeting, and you all talk about. There's a lot of praise given to all of you, and there is a movement. Summit and Kadra support this idea of like officially deputizing Torsten not you, Torsten, because you're already on the village council, and they don't want it to be like you have too much power, but they want to do it with Rain, Rock, and Isabel, so that you can have some more authority within town. You've proven yourselves to be worthy of that. So
deputy council members or deputy law folk? What
deputy law folk.
Law folk. Okay, cool. So I can throw
Do
people
we
in
get
jail.
badges?
I've already started doing things like that, like letting people out of jail and stuff like that. So
Right.
good that it's official now.
Yeah, he's basically saying like, let's make this official. That we need. There's more people in Tomar's Crossing. We need a law-keeping force, and that group of 3 has already proven themselves extremely worthy and could probably put together a body of
A posse? Oh no.
honorable
More
law.
More formal than a posse. Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
Yeah,
What?
like a.
No, I want a posse. Can we please just turn the Demonplague into Red Dead Redemption? Thank you.
Sure. I have never played Red Dead Redemption, so I assume there's a plague demon.
Absolutely.
Zan Crown.
There is a zombie mode in the first one, so
Ah.
kinda.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. So yes.
Torsten will bring up, since you're talking about kind of, the laws and stuff. What were Tomar's Crossing's sort of laws about murder and conspiracy? Like, what were the, we have people in jail for such things. So
Yes.
what are we gonna do with them?
And they say that is a good point. So Tomar's Crossing was small enough that usually the town council adjudicated criminal cases because there weren't that many crimes committed to begin with. So
Or
that's
were
sort of,
there and Bajalin was just covering them all up.
Oh.
that's a
Maybe
a
that's why
great
there weren't many crimes because
Mm.
Bajalin was
Air
just shoving
quotes.
them all under the mattress.
Yeah, he's saying when the village master does it, it's not illegal. Yes. So yeah, that's a good question. And certainly some more probably crimes have come to light. Remember that village council meeting where people were coming forward, like talking about how they had been threatened or shaken down or blackmailed by Bajalin? That is definitely part of it. And so they say, I suppose we could convene and have some sort of trial, probably held within the next day or so, if you think that's a good idea, Torsten.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to kind of get that all out of the way and, start fresh.
Agreed. Well, then we'll set it for tomorrow. We'll have something where people can come forward and we'll make a statement. We'll get the word out and we'll have it tomorrow in the afternoon, if that works.
Awesome. I also wanted to bring up, so there's a group that could be very beneficial to trade. They are former bandits, and now they are just living in this sort of magical place where they have lots of apples. So they have apples. I think we should send some meat, which I think they would prefer to apples probably at this point because they've been eating so many. So if we can send them some food, I can send them a message, and they would likely give us more apples than we could ever deal with. Was it just apples, or was there other stuff? I can't remember.
It was a bunch of fruit.
It was a bunch
Yeah,
of
the apples I think are just prevalent,
but mainly
Okay.
apples.
Yeah.
So,
which makes
And
sense.
water.
Apples,
They had
apples
water.
grow really fast, so
Excuse me, are you saying that we would lose our dignity and deal with bandits to get
they're-
a few plates of fruit here?
no, they were former bandits, and they, at myself and Rock and Isabel and Reigns urging, stopped being bandits, and so they're just living their life in this place. But I'm sure they would be willing to trade some of their fruit.
Oh, I see. So we should prosecute some criminals, but not all. Is that what it is?
They were never bandits directly to me, so I don't know. But that was, we freed them from servitude before. Bazzik
and
said
Summoth
nothing. Sorry.
Sorry. Summoth and Kadra start sort of nodding as you're saying this. Go on.
I was just gonna say we freed them from from their servitude of, I can't remember who was the guy that was over, or maybe it was Ralakai.
Short
Yeah.
cloak.
Oh, a short cloak. Anyways, we freed them from servitude, so they, we told them not to be bandits after that, and they stopped, as far as we know. We need to start dealing with them. There's not very many, communities here, so.
yeah, Therath Shortcloak.
Yeah,
Found it.
There you
Right.
go. Nice. So I can easily send a message to Bazzik as long as we get some stuff to send him, so his guardians don't destroy us as we come near them. They're a bit dangerous.
So Katika votes against this, but you have Kadra and Summoth on your side, and they vote for this as well. So yes, you're able to sort of start getting trade flowing with them, and you're probably not going. The consequence of this and getting the food from last time is likely that if you can get this going, you won't need to worry about feeding Tomar's Crossing for the long future.
Nice.
Also, it's helping to convince Bozig and his friends not to go back to banditry if they've got a nice little, cultivation project going there. Live the good life and
True,
just
true.
trade. And, why go out and fight when you can just sit and eat apples?
Convince them to go legit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. So it's a great work replacement program, as it were. Is that what
Nice.
that's work replacement work?
Yeah. Sounds good.
It's
So
apples.
I don't have anything else specifically for the council. Is there any other kind of pressing business that we need to deal with?
So I think that is likely it for now, and you are able to go meet with everybody. Rock wanted to, probably told you and Rain to meet up, along with Isabel, who Isabel said she would be along shortly. She had a special dinner, I guess. Since you
Tapas?
already ate dinner, a special cake she was going to make and give to Summith to celebrate him becoming village master.
Oh,
So she'll
yeah.
be.
It's like she knew. It's like she knew he was going to win.
It's yeah. Well, she was prepared and she hadn't put the final frosting on the cake.
Oh,
So
smart,
yeah.
smart.
Yeah, exactly. So, so you all are able to meet with Fairy Eye and Bruce in the first floor of the Punching Kickatorium, the studio, if you will, the Punching Kickatorium. And there in the studio, you see Bruce Killshatter is now awake. Oh, also inspiration for you, Robert, for that scene. So Bruce is awake and he is sitting up on a bench, and Fairy Eye is there with him. And when you come in, he motions for you all to come and sit nearby.
Did you have a good nap?
He says, so, can't say it was extremely restful, but I know what we need to know now.
Oh, that's good.
And Fairy Eye says, yes. Now, before we get to that, there are a few things that you should know. We are getting towards a point where you'll be ready to face Zancrown. But to do that, we need to find the entrance to the Demonplague dungeon where he is held. As you know, Zancrown first appeared in this area chasing a group of star elves that had fled from him when he invaded the Feywild. When he came here, after the elves had hidden themselves for 1,000 years from him, they all died, but not before they put him, using the ritual that we used to create the glacier and the ritual that you will all use now to kill him. They put him in a dungeon. A Demonplague dungeon is what we've been calling it just for convenience sake. But the dungeon itself was hidden deep underground. Elves thought it would never be found, but they didn't count on dwarves moving to the valley. The dwarves dug deep. In fact, they dug a city called Maragath's Prize. And Maragath's Prize was a mining city. And they dug so deep that they found the entrance to the Demonplague dungeon. It was when they found this entrance, the dwarves thought there might be treasure inside, and they started banging on the doors. They could not get the doors open, for that is a thing that is difficult to do, but they woke Zancrown. And when they awoke Zancrown, he sent his plague out, and the dwarves died. And then the same thing happened 1,000 years later when the goblinoids moved in, and the goblinoids eventually found Maragath's Prize. They found the same door. They awoke Zancrown, and they too perished. Then the humans came, and the same thing happened to them. That is one reason we sent the glacier. We thought it would be an extra layer of security. But the glacier has melted, and the comet strike this time is what has awoken Zancrown. You need to find the entrance, and therefore you need to find Maragath's Prize so that you will be able to enter this dungeon.
Next time, if any of this kind of thing happens, or if we fail, let's put a sign on the door that says, "Do not knock, plague demon inside."
Yes.
And she laughs and she says, "Yes, I agree with that, Raka. A simple sign would probably go a long way to not knocking." And she says, "I do want you to know that." Hang on one second. There's one other thing that you should know, is that you can get into the city, but you have to speak a password once you find the entrance.
Belloc.
And she says, "No, that's the Elvish word for friend. What a ridiculous dwarf password. Doesn't make any sense. Why would dwarves speak Elvish? That's Jesus, Rain and Tolkien." So
Rock laughs at this meta joke and doesn't know why.
She says, do any of you speak Dwarvish?
I do.
Well, then you'll know this. And she speaks Dwarvish, and the phrase she speaks is "iron is harder than gold."
Okay. How's that sound in Dwarven, James, to someone without that ear?
It sounds like all of the lyrics to Despacito.
You have to sing the entire song.
You have to sing the entire song.
Dwarven is really not a concise language.
Right, exactly.
It's a 3.5 minute song.
Yeah, and if you mess up, you got to start over. So that's going to be a whole session in itself, probably. No, it sounds. I don't know. I always imagined Dwarvish as sounding sort of Slavic, I guess. So I don't want to insult any Slavic people by trying to get a made-up Slavic language. So it's iron is harder than gold, that you would need to speak in Dwarvish once you find it, and that should unlock the door to Maragath's prize. She says, as far as unlocking the door to the Demonplague dungeon, that's something you'll have to figure out once you find it within Maragath's prize.
Hey, can you and your order come with us? Because if we don't defeat him, that's the end of existence, and you're good guys.
Well, we'll need to be here ready to perform the ritual. So the ritual...
We have to kill him, then you do it? How's that? What are the order of events here? Exactly.
That's exactly right. You need to put him down, basically, and then they need to perform the ritual. But it needs to happen sort of quickly. So they're hoping that they can remain in touch with Torsten, since Torsten is a master of divination magic, that he'll be able to send them a message and they'll be able to perform it, because they need to have their spellcasters sort of spread throughout.
Gotcha. Okay.
They need to draw power from different places.
And when you say put him down, you mean kill him, not like choke him unconscious or anything like that, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Dead.
Okay.
Yeah. So that will be, they'll be able to know that way, hopefully, by maintaining contact with Torsten.
So Torsten can't die either.
Or we, like, his message, is that a spell slot or is that a cantrip?
They have wizards who can communicate with you as well. So
okay.
Should something happen to Torsten,
they keep pegging him every 5 minutes. Are you there
yet?
Are you there yet? Are you there yet?
So yes, so you've got that going for you, and she says, but there is indeed something that Bruce has learned. And
there's more.
And Bruce says, I remember being in the afterlife. I remember it was paradise, and I remember I was not happy.
Oh.
I was mad. I was furious. And even though I was surrounded by the people that I loved, I knew that they were taken from this world too soon, and I knew they did not deserve this fate. and I set out on a journey on my own. I went to look for information, to find out what had happened, to find out why. At first, I thought I would consult some divine gods to unravel the mysteries of the universe, to find why us, why this comet, why now. And in my travels, I learned that this was not an accident, like I said before. This is an intentional thing. And so I found myself in the lower planes. I found myself making deals with devils to learn secrets. And I found myself giving away small pieces of my soul, doing things to learn the truth that I don't think I would have normally done. I learned that the comet that struck the valley, that caused the melt, that woke Zancrown, is not just a hunk of rock that fell from the sky. It is a vessel that carried demons from the abyss to this world. Demons who are loyal to Zancrown, who wanted to see him wake. They crashed the comet, and they are searching for the Demonplague dungeon too. They want to free Zancrown.
Space devils.
Space demons.
Space demons.
Yeah.
Oh, big mistake.
If we can find where the comet struck, I can enact my vengeance on these creatures, and you'll have less people contending with you when it comes time to face Zancrown.
Okay.
And that's when Fairy Eyes says, we don't actually know where the entrance to Maragath's prize is. We don't. It's been a long time. None of us who were alive back then remember. It is a place that maybe makes you forget. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's an enchantment that was placed on it long ago when some civilization realized the danger of the place. But maybe the demons have information. It's a good place to start as any. And it will give Bruce some peace if you go as well.
How many demons were hanging out in this comet when it crashed?
You say that, you ask that question, Rain, and you hear a scream go up in the middle of town.
Okay.
All right, outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside. We're all
Conversation
outside.
will finish later.
Yeah.
So you come out and you see Rosalie is screaming and panting in the middle of town, crying for help, and a small crowd is gathering around her, and she is basically panicking. She's yelling and just sort of screaming help, help over and over again. She doesn't look harmed or wounded, but she looks terrified.
What happened?
And she says, there's a whole army coming. There's a whole army of these things coming. We need to get ready now. And she runs over to the bell in the center of town and just starts ringing it like over and over and over again. Not even the requisite number of times to indicate trouble.
As soon as she does that, Rock is going to take off straight up and start looking for said army. Where is this thing? Where is
Okay,
this?
Rock, so you shoot up and the sun is just starting to set at this moment. And you look out and you can see that coming from the south, there is this huge host of fiends coming your way. And you can tell they're fiends because some of them have twisted horns and they are snarling. They're not moving in sort of any ranks or anything like that. They're just charging towards the town. Some of them look like great orange apes with horns that curl back from their heads. Others of them look like giant flies, like fruit flies, but with human faces that are coming your way. Some look like demonic vultures. There's a whole host of little creatures with claws and pig-like noses that are halfling size that are running on all fours on their way toward Tomar's Crossing. And you can also see that, as with your sort of eagle eyes, no pun intended, that each of these demons is covered in sores and pustules and looks diseased as they start to make their way towards Tomar's Crossing.
And she'll fly back down. It's the army of Velok. Is the very like, how many did I see? When I say army, do I mean like 10, 20, 100?
Looks like over 100 probably.
Wait,
not thousands. We're not talking in the thousands or anything.
They're Velok or demons?
They have.
They don't look undead. You think it's probably demons, not. But close enough. They're pretty close to Velok.
They're demons, but they've got the weird pustule things in there. There's 100 of them, and we need to get the town out of here because we cannot defend against all of that.
Well, then they'll just attack people as they're retreating, though, right?
Might be able to hold them off. How far is Fort Kickass?
It's like a day. It's a day's travel.
Yeah, it is. It's about a day's travel away.
The last Bastion Knights fort,
The
right?
prison?
Yeah.
Yeah. You do have the prison.
How many people can that hold?
It was pretty big because the last Bastion had like 30 people and horses and stuff. So
yeah, so you could probably get all of the remaining town to cram themselves in there.
Are there walls?
Yeah.
There are, there's like a makeshift, there's like a fence basically, and then the fort itself is fairly sturdy. It's made of logs.
How long do I think we have before army arrives?
You think you have maybe tens of minutes. Less than an hour.
They're going to be here in minutes. We need to get people to safety or get them moving away from here, like right now.
And people are starting to congregate already in town as Rosalie is ringing the bell.
Okay.
Do we go to the fort or do we go to the last Bastion place?
I think we have to go to the Bastion because if they get caught in the open, it'll be a slaughter. I think if we can get everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So everyone go to the prison.
Okay.
Yeah, Torsten, tell everybody to go to the prison. And Rock is going to find Isabel, and she's going to find Fairy Eye. And can Fairy Eye take the bag? Who can take the bag full of all the stuff? Someone needs to take
Fairy Eye says she could take it.
All right. Yeah. All the stuff that we need for the ritual, Rock is going to hand it to her and say, keep this safe. And then she's going to give the axe to Isabel and say, use this, it's awesome. I'll explain where it came from later.
Okay.
And that's what she's going to do immediately.
Nice. All right. Yes. So Isabel looks like wide-eyed, excited at the axe and swings it around and makes a comment about how happy she is that Baratus is not here and in Fort Kickass. And Summith comes over and he grabs Rosalie and they start to together organize ranks of people, the town guard that is there. And, he's basically anybody who's able to fight. He is getting, grab your armor. There's weapons here, spears here, blah, blah, blah.
Is there a town armory or...
there is some stuff kind of at the prison that people would have.
Okay, so that's good, at least.
Yeah. So there's like a little guard post that would have some stuff too that Rosalie and Summith are able to organize and get a bunch of people ready to go. And some of the refugees who are outside, staying outside of sort of the town proper have gathered, and they showed up with their armor and stuff because the bell was ringing so many times that they were like, something's going down. So they came ready and prepared. So you all managed to gather yourselves a little army outside the fort as well. And how would you like to organize yourselves? So the fort is fenced in on four sides. It's got one entrance that is a gate, that can open and shut, and then it's got a couple of buildings as well. So it's got a stables, one building that's stables, and one building that was the barracks area that has been converted into the prison. And
so is it just in the open in a valley? Is it against like a mountain? Is there any natural terrain cover?
So it is built like all of Tomar's Crossing. It is built on top of a hill.
On top of a hill.
Yeah. So Tomar's Crossing is on top of the hill, and the fort is like basically right outside of Tomar's Crossing. So that's also at the top of the hill to one side of Tomar's Crossing. We'll say the south side, since that's the side the demons are approaching from.
Okay. Do we have archers?
Yep. Yeah. So, and you're able to. You've got rock.
Oh, yeah.
But you've got other archers.
Yeah, here's the thing I'm worried about. Do any of these people have like silvered weapons or magic weapons or anything that's actually going to hurt the things that are coming? Don't we know that these things, they need like awesome stuff that we have?
Yeah, based on her descriptions of what demons are coming, can I tell if there are any of them that people can harm?
So go ahead and make a Arcana check.
18.
Yes. Okay. So 18 would tell you. So you know about Chasme demons, which are those fruit fly looking demons with humanoid faces. They are resistant to cold and fire and lightning, but not bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from other weapons. So they would be completely vulnerable. The same with the big ape demons, which are Barlgoras. So that is... Damn it, Gary Gygax. Why do you make me say these things? So yes, the Barlgoras are would also have the same sort of resistances. And then the Mains demons and the Dretches too. All of these things are vulnerable to getting shot with arrows. Not vulnerable to, but getting shot with an arrow for them is the same as getting shot with an arrow for you. So they would normally take damage. Some Rock did describe what might be a few greater demons, like those vulture demons that were described. Those will probably be harder to take down with non-magical weapons, but not impossible. They're not immune to.
And what else, given her descriptions, what else were there? There were Vrocks and what else?
So given the description, there were Vrocks, Chasmes, Barlgoras, Dretches, Mains, and finally Rock described a demon that looked like a 6-armed woman with a snake body, and each of her 6 arms was wielding a curved blade. You would know that is a Marilith.
Okay.
And how many Vrocks and Marilith were there?
So there was one Marilith. It looked like maybe she was sort of leading the charge. And it looked like there were another 3 Vrocks.
3 Vrocks.
Can you fly, Torsten?
I don't think so.
It's a great... I love that is a question that is totally legitimate to ask in D&D at high levels.
No,
Actually, at this level, absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Not Torsten's thing, so nope.
And you're not strong enough to like carry Torsten, probably, Rock, right?
No, I can't carry anybody. Like, I can't fly and carry anyone. I am not a mount.
Do they have the weapons, these demons, or anything, or no?
Do the demons have weapons? So for the most part, demons...
Sword Lady.
Yeah, aside from Sword Lady, no. For the most part, demons use their claws and jaws and whatever other weird appendages they might have.
Torsten, do we think that the Snake Lady thing is the leader, and if we take it out, then it might break their ranks?
Probably the leader. I doubt if it would break their ranks, but
all
who
right.
knows?
I get dusk, and I say, Torsten, get on the back. We're gonna go fireball them from a distance,
man.
and I'm gonna.
I don't really have fireball.
You don't have fireball prepared. What?
It's
Do
meeting
something.
day. Meeting day.
You got any
But
AOE?
You know, half these creatures are immune to fire, so that's okay.
Right. What I can try to do, and what my plan is something I just came up with, is I have banishment. If I cast it as my most powerful spell, I can banish 3 of them, assuming they fail their saves. I'm sure they have. The Merilith might have some magic resistance, and maybe even the rocks. I'm not sure. But that's better than having to face them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can hold that, then they disappear after a while.
Yeah, they remain in the abyss if he can concentrate on it for a minute.
Yeah. Dang, I knew I should have taken Warcaster.
It's worth a try. I'll fly over them and provide aerial support.
The thing is,
like picking anything off is gonna get close.
They all have to be within 60 feet of me.
That's why we got dusk.
When to get 3. So looking at how they're kind of coming towards town, can we see them now if we're standing on the walls of the?
Yeah.
Of the fort?
So I would, in fact, as soon as you get to the fort, you can see this roiling mass that is backlit by the sunset. So it looks like all these roiling shadows are coming your way, and there is a din that is just horrifying. And as they get closer, it sounds like this horrible moaning as they make their way forth, and you can see like it is chaos, right? These things coming at you, there is no rhyme or reason. There are no ranks. There is no real leader here. They're like scrabbling over each other. Some are even like clawing at each other to get in the way, to be the first to devour essentially all of you. It looks like they're fighting among themselves to get there. So that is what it looks like on your way out.
I will say I have a range. So my comfy range is 80 feet on my bow. My long range at disadvantage would be 320.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as anything is within 320 feet of me, I would start to fire. Like as this discussion is going on, as people are getting on dusk, as we're trying to figure out. And so 320 feet away, I'm at least trying to peg something, and I would be focusing on anything that would be in our direct path to get to the Merilith.
Okay, great. Make you know what, Lauren? Make me 3 attacks with your longbow or with your short bow. And while the other thing that's happening is there are some people with longbows and stuff who are firing at the same time, and you can, they're helping you. You are able to direct their shots as well.
Okay.
And so go ahead and make those attacks while Torsten and Rain are figuring out,
All right.
Is this at my long distance? Is this at the disadvantage distance?
Yeah, go ahead and make it a disadvantage. Actually, you can, you know what? It would probably be canceled out because they're all sort of tightly packed together. So,
okay. I have my light thingy, and that can go off like a flashbang a couple times, I believe.
Yes, it can.
So, Torsten, can you use Arcana to have this? I want to throw it in the middle of them. Can you have it go off like 3 times in a row or something like that to just kind of blind a bunch of them? And then hopefully they'll get shot up with arrows more.
Let's see here. I like that plan. That is a gem of brightness, right?
Yeah.
Just want to...
I don't remember how many charges it has for flashbang.
Like
effects.
40 something. It's some insane amount of charges.
But it takes a bunch to use the flashbang ability.
Yeah,
it does, and they don't recover.
It's 5 charges to use the flashbang ability. And it's a 30-foot cone that comes out of it. So you could even do it. I'll say, Rudy, you can do it while you're holding it, or for the sake of awesome, because it's an awesome idea. If essentially, if Torsten wants to like kind of mage hand it, it can be acted that way too.
All right, yeah. Then I will throw it at the oncoming horde of monsters. That's really all I can do.
Cool. So I'll give you advantage then, Rock, on these rolls.
Oh, that's cool. Because if I have advantage, then so what I rolled with just the straight rolls is a 21, a 26, and a 27. And then for one of them, for a bonus action, I rolled insight against
Mhm.
their deception, and I rolled an 18, which gives me 31.
Sure.
So for one of them, I would get sneak attack, but if I have advantage on all of those, I would get sneak attack on all of them.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely. And we'll say, um, you don't need to roll up damage at the moment, because
That's
we're
good
sort
because
of
that's a lot of rolling.
yeah. So you're clearing the way, right? And your arrows, and it's not just the 3 arrows. You're able to shoot many in the time it takes them to get closer. The bang, the sort of grenades of light keep going off in the middle of these small demon hordes, and the demons are clutching their eyes, and you and the other bow folk are able to take out a healthy amount before they even get close. Demons, turns out ranged attacks are not really their strong suit. And
good.
yeah, so you're able to take out a healthy number of these mains and dretches as they approach, but the horde keeps coming and keeps making their way.
Yeah, but
You can
we're hopefully
see-
clearing the path to try to get towards this Merilith without there being 3 billion.
And you can see these crazy humanoid vultures that are making their way with, big sores across their faces and their bodies, squawking terribly. And beneath it all, in the middle of this writhing horde, and the horde is trying to stay out of her way, is this Merilith that is wielding 6 swords and sort of spinning them all around, and occasionally will stab a small flying demon next to her, seemingly just for the hell of it. And this thing explodes in a burst of ichor as it makes its way toward all of you. So I just want to... Are you doing banishment as soon as you are able on them?
So before I do banishment, I wanted to do spiritual weapon to get it out there.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
then like the next round kind of. So basically, like, right before they get to my range, that I want to do spiritual weapon, and then I want to do banishment basically the next round. And I want to make get it to a point where depending on how high the rocks are flying, if I think I can get 2 rocks in the Merilith, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, you could probably time that just right, so that you would be able to do that. And your spiritual weapon is also out there. It starts hacking things apart. Rain, is there anything you want to do as these things get closer?
I want to tell
because they'll
Kadra
need
to
to be
cast
within-
Fireball.
What's that?
I tell Kadra to cast Fireball.
Don't we know that these things are resistant to
Or
fire, though?
some sort of
They're
spell.
resistant, not immune.
Yeah, still helpful for sure.
Kadra, do you
Especially
have anything that's
the
just not
dress
fire,
bangles.
or what was it? A fire, whatever they're
Uh,
resistant to, that Torsten knows about.
Let's see, Kadra, do you have any? So it's fire, cold, and lightning.
All right.
Like those are the demon resistances. But let's see.
Not necrotic.
Not necrotic, no. Kadra says, I could make you invisible to rock?
Oh, to rock. Okay.
Or you.
I'll take it.
right?
No, it doesn't help me.
Is it greater invisibility out
It's
of
greater
character?
invisibility, yeah.
I'll take it because I'm going to be flying. That'd be good. And she's
Okay.
shooting at shit. I'll take
So
it.
she'll make you invisible. And then she will start hurling fireballs. And you see the fireballs, some of the larger demons don't seem as affected by it, but the smaller demons are still falling in and turning into puddles of demonic ichor as they fall to the ground, as she hurls
That's
some
the wrong type of ichor.
Yeah.
It is the wrong type of ichor. Although right now, any ichor is the right type of ichor.
When
So
they're dead.
now, as they close within...
I want to do
60
something before they get
Oh.
close.
Go for it.
I want to. We're on a hill, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna step of the wind and running jump off the hill and go flying down and hopefully crescent kick the sword lady right in the face
Oh,
Wow.
dear.
Okay.
before
Oh.
she gets banished. Yeah, I don't know. To die defending the town would be the noblest of deaths. So I jump right in the
To
middle of
live
the wall.
defending the town would be even better.
Kadra is so turned on right now.
When I see, because of course I see him do this, because Rock sees everything. Rock invisibly will shadow him and continue to shoot at things, trying to clear his path.
Cool. So, so I guess Rudy, you're leaping off here, and this is a dramatic kick. First, make an acrobatics or athletics check. Let's start there, and we'll say you have advantage because Rock is helping you.
Because it's so awesome.
Also,
All
because
right.
it's awesome.
20 athletics.
20th.
20.
Oh, dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, so you are able to sail through the air. And what we'll say is if your attack connects now, she will also take the falling damage that like you would have taken. She cushions your fall and takes the shock for it. So go ahead.
I'll use my inspiration.
Nice. You have advantage on this attack to
on
begin.
this as well? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Just because it's awesome.
Natural 20!
Oh, if there's any time for natural 20, now's the time.
That was it, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so first things first, we're giving away a free PDF at the end of this to enter for your chance to win because Rudy rolled a natural 20. What should people enter?
Exclamation point, boo DST. Because down with daylight savings time is what Rudy says.
Exclamation point, boo DST.
Boo.
Nice.
Not boo, don't split the podcast network.
No, not that.
Bootsed.
Boots.
It's
Boots.
boots.
Boots. A lot to get up here in the chat, and it's boots. Boots.
So yes, if you're in the Don't Split the Podcast Network Twitch chat, go ahead and enter that. And in the meantime, Rudy, why don't you go ahead and roll up that critical damage for me? And let's say add another 4d6 for the falling damage.
So I do 15 base damage. Not great. And then the bonus damage is 16. So a total of 31 damage.
Okay. 31 damage. Okay, and you've got we'll say that you're starting the initiative here.
Okay.
With this heroic act. So go ahead, you can take the rest of your attacks if you want.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any way. Would she get like disadvantage on saves if she was stunned or anything like that? Is that a?
I think.
Nodding.
I think so.
Then I will.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up for you because I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Then I will use my stunning strike.
Stunning
Which
strike.
means she needs to
You
make.
fail strength and dex saves.
Ooh, I don't think it's one of those.
No.
But you automatically fail them if she is stunned, right?
And she can't take actions or reactions. And considering she's
Sure.
wielding like 3 billion swords, maybe not taking any actions.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a good call. Okay, so she needs con saving throw DC 16.
Okay. Here we go. And this is not magic. Okay. I rolled an 18 on the die.
Ooh.
Boo.
Okay.
Indeed.
When you hit another creature with a melee attack. All right. But I can use. Well, I get a second attack first off,
Yes, you do. Go for it.
and it says just with a melee attack, not use your attack action. So I should
Right.
be able to just keep stunning striking her over and over again.
If you
So-
want to, yes, that's
yeah.
totally an option.
So
As long as you have
20.
key.
Yeah, 20. I have 12 key points. It's insane. 20 versus armor class.
That'll hit.
Okay, that's another 7 damage.
All right.
And once again, she has to make that save.
Okay. Okay, let's see. This is a con save.
Yeah, 16.
Okay, she failed.
Hooray!
Rolled a 3.
Nice.
Oh,
So
that's
she's
nice.
Stunned. Okay. And then do you want to take a bonus action?
I will. Okay. Yeah. Who's there's other monsters within range? I'm trying to think about.
Oh,
just
yeah, tons
keep
of other
smashing
monsters.
her. No, I'll just keep hitting her, even though
Okay.
the plan is for her to be banished. But if that doesn't pan out, then at least I'll
Yeah.
have punched her a lot.
Mhm.
So I'll use my bonus action to flurry of blows. 18.
Okay.
I get advantage on this, right? because she's stunned. So 19 and 26.
19 and 26 will both hit, and she's stunned, so she can't do anything about it.
So another 15 bludgeoning damage as I essentially pounce on top of her, follow up from my kick, and just like, full mount, pounding.
All right. Rock and Torsten, go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Big ol' 7.
I got a 7 as well.
Okay. All right. So,
I rolled a 2. Oi.
Actually, let me go first because I can. Yeah, let me go before you. Yeah.
Okay.
I will knock and I will look at Torsten and I will hold my attack until I see what happens with Torsten's banishment, because I'm assuming at this point he's in range.
Yes. Yeah. At this point, we'll say this is all sort of happening simultaneously. You are within range, Torsten.
All right. So I will kind of stand up over the edge of the fort and say some magic words and target 2 of the Vrox and the Merilith and banish them to some forgotten demi-plane. So they need to make DC 16 charisma saving throws.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. All right. Okay, so the Merilith, you see, is able to, even though stunned, clenches her jaw and lets loose this groan and keeps herself anchored to this world. However, both of the Vrox just into existence, like a little purple flash happens over each of them, and they are gone. And there's only one Vrock left remaining as the other demons begin to converge on the fences, and you see people standing up with spears, hitting people and stuff. And it is Rock, your turn as all of this is occurring. You can see there is still one.
I got a little more to go. So I still have my bonus action. I already have a spiritual weapon out there, so I'm going to have it go ahead and attack the Merilith.
Go for it.
All right, so that's a 9 and 6, 14.
Okay. 14.
No, 15.
15 to hit?
Yeah.
You have advantage because she's stunned.
Oh, that's with advantage. That's right. So that's going to be a 19.
Yeah.
That is it.
Nice. All right. So it's going to be 2d8. Nice. 7, 7, 14, and 2. So 16.
Okay. You see more Merilith blood fills the air.
Nice.
Yes. And now, Rock, is your turn.
Do I see anything targeting Torsten?
It does look to you like the other Vrock is ready to dive bomb Torsten.
Okay. I'm going to stare at it, and I'm going to stare into its blackened soul, and it needs to make. I haven't actually had to do this in a while.
Rock v Vrock.
Yeah, Rock v Vrock. I need it to make a deception check.
Okay.
It's not gonna beat me. It's
cool. How's it 3?
Yeah, I rolled an 18 plus 13, so no.
Got it.
So I'm focusing down on this thing because I think I know Torsten and what this plan is well enough to know that nobody can touch Torsten for the next minute. And so my goal is protect Torsten. So I'm gonna shoot this thing.
Nice.
I rolled 2 19s. I could have rolled a natural 20, but I rolled 2 19s. So that's a lot to hit. That's a ton.
Nice.
That's 19. There's a 29 to hit. Does it hit the Brock?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm sure you're shocked to learn.
Hey, all right, so that's 10. That's 31 magical piercing damage.
Okay.
And so I am still invisible because great invisibility doesn't go away when I shoot, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Which means you also have advantage against the rocks.
Yeah, I rolled with advantage. I just
Good.
rolled 2 19s and I couldn't roll a 20. So I'm gonna position myself. If I see this thing looking to dive bomb, I'm gonna position myself in line so that I'm between it and Torsten. So
Okay.
it might hit me instead.
It does look like you now have the rock's attention.
Well, I'm invisible, so it can try.
Yes. Oh,
But
yes.
that's okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I will maneuver myself. I will be come on, camera. There we go. I will maneuver myself so that I'm in line so that if it tries to dive bomb Torsten, it has to go through me first.
Gotcha. Okay. Love it. All right. So that takes us to so the demons are running around you. And let me see here. It's just like a mob of demons running all around you right now, Rain. What is
Cool.
your armor?
I love
class?
it. 19.
Okay, cool. So you take 10 slashing damage as these demons are running by, clawing you and like start jumping on your back and stuff, but they seem to be making way towards the town. So like they're doing some sort of run by attacks. You get all these little scratches and stuff as they run by.
Do I get any opportunity attacks?
Yeah, you would be able to reach out and
Sure. I'll go try and clothesline somebody as they run by.
Yeah, definitely. So if you want to use your reaction, we can say you definitely turn a demon into ichor with your fist as it runs by. And then the Vrock goes, and the Vrock is going to try to dive bomb Torsten. Now, Rock, go ahead and make an opportunity attack first.
Is this a melee opportunity attack?
Yes, I suppose it would be.
Okay. So yeah, I'll letter opener it out.
Okay.
That would be a 22.
That'll hit.
Okay. I do get sneak attack. I always have to remember this.
You do. Yeah. Once per turn. It's great.
So that is, it's not amazing. 5, 20, 22, that's 29 letter opener damage.
29 letter opener damage. Okay. So you do that, and then you're trying to put yourself in the way, right?
Yes. So that if it tried to dive bomb Torsten, it would like collide with me, and hopefully I'll either take the damage or push it off course or like block it or whatever I can do in that moment.
So when you stab it, it turns and tries to attack you, having sort of an idea of where you are. However, because it can't see you, it snaps at you and its beak misses.
Okay.
And then it also misses with its talons as it tries to rake at you. And that is when you see Gorf jump up from the ground and try to
Literally just wondering if
around and Gorf wraps itself around this rock, pulling it to the ground, and it's struggling with the rug on top of it. And we are back to the top. Rain, it is your turn.
Wait, what happened to Isabel?
So Isabel is fighting. She's part of the throng of the crowd.
Okay, she's like leading the villagers.
Yeah, there's like a ton of other demons, and she's helping fight all of those right now. So yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and you see her cold axe is cutting things, and as she like cuts them down, their ichor freezes and then bounces around.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Soup's gross. Rain, it is your turn.
Can I kick these swords out of the hands of this monster?
While she's stunned, sure.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
With one of my attacks, attack action. What do you think?
So she's got 6 swords.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to move all of her swords to a place where it's gonna be a whole deal for her to get them, we would say that's probably your whole action to do that. You can still punch on your bonus.
Yeah. Well, it's the attack action to do
Oh, I see. You have to. That's what triggers it. Got
after
it.
you take the attack action. And you say this isn't technically an attack action.
I mean, I'll give it to you.
What a
since you're
guy! What a guy! All right, I'm not sure.
It is. You are attacking the swords. So yeah.
24.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, that does 8 damage, and I will stunning strike again because it's not a bonus action. It's just a thing I can do.
That is a natural 1.
All right.
Hey!
She's stunned again. I
Oh.
didn't even have to.
An
keep away
unlucky
all
for
those
James.
swords.
Round.
We can use every moment of unlucky for James right now.
Um.
I'm not gonna complain.
So yeah, you are able to stun her again.
Cool. And then a 12. Oh no, a 24 because I have advantage.
Yes. Yeah, you do.
So
that'll hit.
Another 12 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Cool.
Don't you love monks, James?
I do love monks. I love them a lot. And I also love wizards named Torsten, and that's whose turn it is.
All right, so this Vrock that is now fighting Rock, I think, is probably more of a threat to me and keeping those other two vanished. So I'm going to turn to that one, and I'm going to try to do what level am I on here? A 3rd level guiding bolt on it.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and use one of my portents just to make sure I hit it. So it's going to be a 13 plus 6, so it's a 19.
19 will hit.
All right, so it's going to be 66 damage. Oh my god, this radiant damage comes down on it. 12, 17, 18, 19, 20 damage.
Nice.
That's radiant damage, right?
Radiant damage. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm sure it loves that.
And the next attack on it has advantage. You already have advantage because you're invisible anyways, but
It can never hurt. You never
Yes,
know when
and
this
it is-
invisibility is going to go away.
This thing is restrained in the embrace of Gorf, as it were, as well.
as well, yeah.
So yes. So it's restrained in the embrace of Gorf, and takes a ton of damage. And it is Rock's turn.
I still got sorry. Still
Oh,
got,
sorry.
Still got my
the
bonus
spiritual
action
weapon.
for
Yes.
the spiritual
Go.
weapon. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and against the Merilith.
Oh, it's my new best friend, the spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
What does
side
the
by
spiritual
side.
weapon look like?
I think we said it was a spear.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I say you're so much better than a certain rug spiritual weapon.
Oh, the rug lets go of the rock in sadness.
No!
And I still have advantage on that?
You do.
All right, good. So that's gonna be a 25.
Holy moly. Okay.
All right, so that's gonna be 16 damage.
16 damage. Okay. All right. Cool. Now, Rock, it is your turn. Sorry for
Since-
jumping the gun towards
No,
you.
no worries.
I will always pause for spiritual weapon damage. So I will take like the briefest of moments since this rock is being held by Gorf, and once again just scan around. Are there any immediate threats to Torsten, or is this rock still the immediate threat?
So it looks like the rock is the most immediate threat right now.
All right, it's getting an arrow because it's on the ground now, and I'm still above it. Right? It got like dragged. Awesome arrows. Here we go. Oh, once again, I rolled a 19. Can't roll a 20. So that's a 28 to hit. Still can't roll.
Okay.
So, right. 7 to 8. 33 magic arrow damage
Nice.
in its face. Is it still alive?
It is not. How would you like to
Good.
do this?
Nice.
Like as efficiently as possible because there's an army out there. So,
Nice.
so Rock's like,
Thunk.
nope,
And
that's the
then-
problem. Thunk. Like Gorf is over its face, so like right in its throat, like just pin
Yeah,
it right. to
and
the
it
ground,
melts in the sweet embrace of Gorf. It melts into Icar, or wind, I should say.
And then I will once again take a defensive position above Torsten where I can see the Merilith, and will prepare to either defend him or keep shooting that thing.
Okay, yeah. And you see more demons are coming forth, and there are definitely people who are getting hurt, but the fact that a lot of these greater demons have been taken out means that it looks like you all are actually winning the day and holding the line against these demons. Casme demons are flying all around, and some of them are like flying over the fort, like into the town, seeing just if there's people over there that they can like tear apart and stuff. And
James, if you say we're winning the day and then our luck changes and you've jinxed us, I will be so upset. The DM is not allowed to say to jinx us like that. I'm just gonna say it.
I would never jinx you. I might add a coda to something. So let's see. So Gorf is going to run off into the fray and start strangling other demons and things.
I'm so proud of you, Gorf!
Rain, demons run by you, but this time you're able to twist and dodge out of the way of their claws, and it is your turn again.
I will once again kick one in the head as it runs past me.
Okay, yeah. Poof.
And then
explodes.
Yeah, I'll just keep hitting this monster lady. I have advantage.
You do?
Natural 20!
Yay!
Oh,
all right, enter exclamation point Boo DST for a chance to win a free PDF. And go ahead, Rudy, roll up that critical damage.
14 critical damage. Man, I just don't do a lot of damage, do I?
Well, that's because you attack 4 times.
Yeah.
So stunning strike right now is winning the day.
I guess. Speaking of which, stunning strike.
Yes. Your stunning strikes are preventing me from having to heal you, so that's good.
She is able to resist this stunning strike.
All right. Second attack. 19.
That hits.
6 more damage.
Okay.
Stunning strike.
All right.
I've used
another resistance of stunning strike.
Of my 12. Okay. Flurry of blows. 22.
Hit.
11 damage.
Okay.
I have to look this up. There's no.
You can. If
right.
you spend a key,
you're just gonna run out of key. That's all.
You just have to hit the thing in order to spend the key. That's all.
Then again, stunning strike.
Another resist.
Oh my goodness, James.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to
listen.
show me
A 1
that.
and a 3 are what I rolled the first time, but she's got
right.
+10 to con.
All right, last attack. 27.
Hit.
For another 13 bludgeoning damage. Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay.
And final stunning strike, and I'm very low on key points.
Okay, I got an 18. So.
All right, but she's unarmed. I will knock her. Let me double check something. So I hit her twice with my flurry of blows. So I'll knock her prone and take a reaction.
Well,
away.
she gets to make a save against that, right?
Nope.
Against the prone?
Oh,
she sure does.
Yeah, you're right. Dex saving throw, but she fails Dex saving throws automatically because she's stunned.
No.
This is true because she is stunned until the end of his turn.
Until the end of your turn.
My
so
turn,
yeah, you're right. She does. She falls. Poof.
Nice.
You're awesome.
And no reactions for her.
No reactions. So on her turn, she stands up, and she whips her tail at you, Rain. Okay. So her tail wraps around you, and you are grappled.
Good.
What?
I said good. Now she has nowhere to go.
So you're restrained, and then she's going to try to punch you a bunch of times, I guess.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just a boxing match in the middle of this chaos.
Her 6 arms.
Her punches are not nearly as good as her swords. So let's see. She gets to make 6 of these punches.
I was about to say, but she, like a monk, gets a lot of them.
Well, what's your AC?
19.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. That's a miss. That's a hit. That's a miss. Okay, so she hits 4 out of 6 times, dealing a total of 20 bludgeoning damage with her fists. As she beats you up, and she hisses at you in Abyssal. And it is Torsten's turn.
All right, Torsten is going to once again use his Portent of 13 to cast another guiding bolt this time on the Marilith, but this time at 5th level. So it's going to be an 8d6 guiding bolt. So the 19 hits, right?
Okay.
And yeah, 8d6.
It sure does.
Oh, this one. That's too many ones that are in there. So 10, 20, 25, 27.
All right. Torsten, that is still just enough for this demon to explode in a burst of ichor, dropping rain.
Kill steal. Kill steal. Right there. Kill steal.
Kill steal, and you're covered in ichor. As the Marilith falls, and you can see all around you the demons have been beaten back, and the few that remain are retreating, and making their way back. However, Rock, you are the first to hear, although you all eventually hear it, the screams of Ferii the Wise, as you see a Chasme demon with shackles in its jaws, pulling Ferii, who is in these shackles somehow, even though she is a ghost, pulling her away towards the south.
Nope.
And that is where we will end session of the Demonplague.
Is she holding all of our stuff in a bag?
She is not holding all your stuff in a bag.
Not to be a jerk, but that's what matters the most.
Well, yes, but now we don't know where the stuff in the bag is, but still. Okay, Ferii. No, we'll do it. I guess we'll do that next week.
I guess we'll do that next week.
Yep.
So upset.
With a guest.
Also, with a guest? Come on, camera. Oh my God.
With a guest, yes.
She's
With guest. Next week, of course, TK will be back with us.
Yay!
And along with them, we will have special guest Lisa Chen will be.
DM.
Yes. So everybody look forward to Lisa Chen joining this fun, happy, demony show with us. She is awesome, and I'm super excited to have her. In the meantime, let's go. Well, first, we've got two PDFs to give away. So if you're in the Don't Split the Podcast Network Twitch chat, head on over there and enter !boo DST. That's !boo DST. And you could win a free PDF if you do just that. Also, while you're there, might as well smash that follow button.
Smash the follow button.
Boom, boom. Yes, yeah, exactly. In the meantime, let's go around. Where can people find you, Robert?
Hey, I'm Robert Adichie. You can find me on Twitter at Radu76. That's RADDU76. You can find me in the giant D&D 5th edition Facebook group, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. And you can find me at scavengerworld.net. And if you want to play some D&D with me, Dark Sun, I'm also running some non-D&D stuff. You can come find me at patreon.com/Robert Aducci. That's my name.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes. And if you've never played with Robert before, it is pretty great. Yes, definitely. So go check that out. Lauren, where can people find you?
Oh, hi, I'm Lauren Urban. You might know me as Obo Crazy. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond, so you can find me wherever fine D&D Beyond products are sold, which is on D&D Beyond. We also have a Discord. You can come chat with me there, and you can yell at me on Twitter. I'm at Obo Crazy. You can also find me as playing on Heroes of the Veil, which returns this Wednesday. That would be tomorrow at 2:00. And you can see me playing a Dragonborn cleric and trying to keep everybody alive. And it's It's a little stressful, but not much. I'm also the DM for Dungeon Drunks, which is a podcast that comes out every Monday that you can find wherever fine podcasts are sold. We have an exciting game coming up this Monday that an announcement about is going to be coming up on Thursday. And I've just done the thing I hate, which is to tell you about an announcement that I can't make. So yay for me. Anyway, find me on all the social medias because that's where I live. Thank you. Bye.
Excellent. That is awesome. I can't wait for that announcement. The hype
Thursday.
is real.
Ooh.
So real right now.
I'm excited. Should we do the TK thing? Should we say it's not me, it's not TK, but you should definitely follow TK. It's TK Joins the Fray on Twitter, and you should see all of their spooky stories. And you should come back next week and see them on the show where they're probably going to kick even more ass because they're awesome. And you should watch TK as the DM on Tales from the Mists on Friday, but not this Friday because TK is off this week because everyone deserves a vacation. But follow TK Joins the Fray on Twitter. Did I do that okay?
That was great. That was great. Yes, absolutely. And I loved it, and and I love TK, so you should definitely check them out. And Rudy, where can people find you?
Hey, I'm on Twitter at Rudy Basso. Go to don'tsplitthepodcastnetwork.com for lots of great podcasts related to role-playing game stuff. Also, this is a podcast. Comes out every Wednesday. Be sure to check it out and enjoy.
Yes, absolutely. Check out the podcast version of this. And please, if you like the show, tell your friends about it. Word of mouth. Always huge. Always great. So yeah, that is where you can find these people. I am also at don'tsplitthepodcastnetwork.com. I'm on Twitter at James and Gicasso. I'm at worldbuilderblog.com. And again, this adventure we're playing through is available at roleplayingtips.com/Demonplague. It's level 1 through 20 adventure. You can get it in PDF and in many other flavors. So now why don't we give away a PDF of this adventure?
Okay.
Here.
The winner of Demonplague is SSJ Gogeta DBZ.
Yay.
Woo! Yes, excellent, excellent. And in addition, today on the Guild,
Oh, he has that already. So
well, then guess what? You're winning a copy of the Adventure Atlas.
there you go.
So, boom, check it out. Released today on the Guild. There's no way you already have a copy of it unless maybe you bought it, which you did. Thank you, and we'll get you something else. But in the meantime, let's give away a copy of the Demonplague.
Demonplague! Zoltar 81. Do you have the Demonplague? You probably do, I think, actually.
Well, if not, we'll also give you a copy of the Adventure Atlas of
There you
Zoltar.
go.
So that's
Nice.
how we'll make that work. We will be in touch. All right. Okay. Woo-hoo!
Not yet.
Not
no.
yet. Woo-foo.
Now you do.
Yeah. not
Woo-foo
even-
indeed. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you three for playing today. This was a lot of fun. And remember, don't let the demons bite, Rudy.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.